Ready?
Good morning, students. Today you're going to be playing a game called Target Practice. You are going to need one sheet for each player and one spinner. I'm going to start first, player one. My goal of this game is to get the closest fraction to 1. So I spin, starting on spinner number 1, I spin twice. So I have a 2, I record it. I have I have a 12. Then I get to record over here, 4, and 10. So I get to choose the denominator out of these 4 numbers. I do not get to choose the numerator because the numerator is always going to be 1. My goal is to get closest to 1 whole. So I'm going to start out by putting a 2, and I cross it off because I've used it. And I'm also going to use a 4. So 1/2 plus 1/4 is equal to 3/4. So that is 1/4 away from 1. So my score is 1/4. You want the smallest score possible because that means you got closest to 1. Let's see what Miss Houston gets on her round.
Okay, so I spin once, and I got 12. 12. 10 and 10.
What 2 denominators are you going to choose, Miss Houston?
Well, I guess I will choose 10 and 10 and get 2/10.
How far away is that from 1?
So it would be 8/10 away.
So you would write that as your score. So she crosses off her 10s, and we now are going to compare rounds. So Miss Houston got 8/10, and I got 1/4. I was much closer to 1, so I get to win the round.
How do you know that?
I know that because I can think about half, and I know I'm less than a half, and Miss Houston's more than a half because 5/10 is a half. So I know that she had a worse score than me. So I'm going to go into my next round. I start out by using the 2 numbers from last time and bringing them down because 10 and 12 are still options for me. I only get to spin 1 time on each spinner this second time. So I have 2 as an option, 10, 12, and 10. So I'm going to use 2, and I'm going to use 10. 1/2 and 1/10. So I just can't add those nicely. I need to put them into a common denominator. So I'm going to think about money, and I'm going to think 50 cents is equal to 1/2 of a dollar, and 1/10 is equal to 10 cents of a dollar. So my total score would be 60 out of 100, which is 40 hundredths away from 1 or 4/10, which can also reduce down to 2/5. So my final score is 2/5. And I'm going to cross off the ones I used. And again, my 10 comes down and my 12 comes down for when it's my third turn. Miss Houston's turn.
Okay, so I have to bring down my 2 12s that I didn't use. Oops. 6. And 3. So I'm going to use 1/6 and 1/3. So now, again, just like Miss Pearson, I need to find a common denominator. And how I'm going to do it is I'm going to find a common denominator by knowing that 3 can go into 6. If I take, I'm going to keep my 1/6. And I know that if I multiply 3 times 2, I'm going to get 6. And 1 times 2 is 2. And I add those, and I get 3, 6, which is the same thing or equivalent to 1/2, which means my score is a half.
So, Miss Houston, is 1/2, is it closer to 1 than 2/5, or is it further away from 1 than 2/5?
So it is closer to 1, right?
Well, I think I'm closer because 2.5 is technically the halfway point, so I'm a little closer.
Oh, shoot.
So I think I get the star.
Dang it.
If we would have gotten the same, it would have been a tie. I did get 4/10, but 4/10 reduces to 2/5, Miss Falcone. I'm less than half. 4/10, 5/10 is half.
Closer to 1?
Yeah, you want to be closer to 1. So remember, so I got 60 hundredths originally, so my score was 4/10. So you want the lower score.
Oh, lower.
Yes.
Yeah, the lower score.
See,
So
I
my
think-
original score had gotten, my sum was 60 hundredths. So my score is that -1. So I get the points. So 2 rounds for Mrs. Pearson. You would continue going till you have all 5 rounds. If you tie, you both get a star. And the goal is to get as many round wins as possible. Have a nice time.